For piece 7, you are going to need your color A yarn, your 4mm hook, and you will be needed to make 2 of these pieces. So we're going to start things off with 6 single crochet in a magic circle. And then for round 2, we're going to do 1 single crochet, 1 increase, repeated 3 times. For round number 3, we're going to work in the back loop only, and the back loop is the part of the stitch that's furthest away from us. And into those back loops, we're going to do 3 single crochet, followed by 3 increases in a row, and then finish with 3 more single crochet. And 3 all in the back loop, and then I'm going to do 3 increases in a row, again in the back loop. So that's my first increase, my second increase, and then my third increase. And I'm just going to finish up with 3 more single crochet in the back loop. And 3. At the end of round 3, we should now have 12 stitches total in our round. Both rounds 4 and 5 are 12 single crochet, or you can do 24 single crochet consecutively. Rounds 6 and 7 are the same. We're going to begin by doing 2 decreases in a row. So for round 6, we're going to do our first decrease, and then I'm just going to pop my stitch marker back in here. We're going to follow this with a second decrease. After this, we're going to do 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, and after that, 3 increases in a row. So first increase, in the next stitch, second increase. Try not to work through your stitch marker, we don't want that. So second increase, and then third increase. We're going to do another single crochet in the next stitch, and after that you should have 2 stitches remaining. We're going to decrease across those as well. And that is round 6. Round 7 is exactly the same as the previous round. So we're going to start with 2 decreases. We're going to follow this with 2 single crochet, 3 increases in a row, 1 single crochet, and then finish on another decrease. At the end of round 7, we should still have 12 stitches total in our round. Rounds 8 and 9 are each going to be 12 single crochet, or once again, you can just do 24 single crochet in a row. Round 10 is 6 single crochet, 3 increases in a row, and then 3 single crochet. Round 11 is 15 single crochet. For round 12, we're going to start with 6 single crochet. We're then going to follow this with a repeat of 1 single crochet, 1 increase, done 3 times. So go single crochet, first increase, second single crochet, second increase, and then third single crochet and third increase. And we're just going to finish off round 12 with 3 single crochet. Round 13 starts off with 3 decreases in a row. And then the remaining stitches of the round are just single crochet, and there should be 12 of those all up. And 12. After round 13, we're going to begin to add the stuffing. And this is a piece you want to stuff fairly firmly. Once you've finished adding the stuffing, we're going to continue on with the last couple of rounds. Round 14 is 2 decreases, 9 single crochet, and then another decrease. Ferret fur on the table. Ignore that. And then round 15, which is our final round, is just 6 decreases. And for this piece, you will need to leave a tail for sewing. So we're just going to snip ourselves a bit of yarn. And then once you've made the first, you will need to go ahead and make a second. You want to say hello, do you? You want to say hello, do you? For piece number 8, you're going to need both your colour D and your colour A yarn, as well as the 4mm hook. Now, with this one, we are going to have to make 4 pieces total, but then we're going to reduce those 4 pieces into 2 by joining them together. So all up, you're going to have to make 4 pieces, 2 in colour D, and with your colour D ones, you want to crochet them first, cut the yarn, and then set them aside. Then you're going to make 2 in your colour A yarn. And with those ones, we're going to crochet the first, and then without cutting the yarn, join it to one of our colour D pieces. You don't necessarily have to do it in that order. You can crochet them all, then come back in and join them. I just find it easier to join the colour A to the colour D while it's already on my hook. I have obviously crocheted the first 3. I'm going to show you the pattern using colour A, and then I'm going to show you how to join them. So yeah, I hope that wasn't too confusing of an explanation. So we're going to set you guys aside there. So I'm going to start off here by showing you in the colour A yarn, but at this point you should be making your first 2 pieces with the colour D. Okay, so we're going to start off by making a slip knot and then chaining 2, 1 and 2. Into the second chain from the hook, we're going to do 1 increase, 1 and 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Then for row 2, we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and then do 2 increases in a row. So first increase, and then in the next stitch we're going to do a second. Row 3 also begins with a chain 1 and turning your work. In the first stitch we're going to do 3 single crochet in the same stitch. So 1, 2 and 3 single crochet all in the first stitch there, and then we're going to follow this with 2 single crochet, 1 and 2 across the row, and then in the last stitch we're going to put 3 single crochet all in this one stitch again. 1, 2 and 3. For row 4 we're going to chain 1, turn our work and do 8 single crochet across the row. Row 5, chain 1, turn your work. Start with 1 increase followed by 6 single crochet and then finish on an increase. Row 6, chain 1, turn your work and do 10 single crochet. For row 7, we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and we're going to start off with 3 single crochet in the same stitch, followed by 8 single crochet and then another 3 single crochet in the same stitch. Both rows 8 and 9 are chain 1, turn work, and 14 single crochet. For row 10, we're going to chain 1, turn our work, but this time we're going to start off with a slip stitch in the first stitch, slip stitch. Then we're going to follow this with 1 single crochet. And in the third stitch, we're going to crochet a picot stitch. Now, if you've been following this amigurumi along, we did do a sort of half picot stitch back in video 2 for piece number 4. And we're going to do like the same technique here. So we're going to begin the picot stitch by doing a single crochet into stitch number 3. And then once you've done that, you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Like we did with piece number 4, we need to find the back bump of the first chain, and the back bump is this little bit of yarn sticking out here behind the V of your stitches. So if you look at your stitches from front on, turn those over, you should be able to see the back bumps. We want this one down here, which is the back bump of the first chain. We're going to insert our hook under that, do another single crochet, and that is our picot stitch complete. After our first picot stitch, we're going to do a single crochet into stitch number 4 of the row. We're going to follow this with another slip stitch. After that slip stitch, we're doing another single crochet, and then in the stitch after that, our second picot stitch. So once more, start off by doing a single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then single crochet into the back bump of the first chain. After those stitches, you should have 7 stitches left in the row, and we're just going to single crochet into each of those. For row 11, this time we're going to start off with a chain 2 instead of a chain 1. So 1 and 2, turn your work. We're going to be starting in the third stitch from the hook this time, so we're going to skip the 2 chains we just made, and we're going to do 6 half double crochet. So that is all we need to do for row 11. After our 6th half double crochet, we're going to leave the remainder of the stitches unworked. So for row 12, we're going to chain 1 again, then turn our work. In the second stitch from the hook or the first stitch, we're going to do another picot stitch. So begin by doing a single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then single crochet into the back bump of the first chain. And then we're going to finish row 12 by single crocheting in the remaining stitches, of which there should be 5. 1, 2. Row 13 begins with a chain 2 again, 1 and 2, turn your work. We're going to start off by doing 2 half double crochet, 1, and 2. And then across the next 2 stitches, we're going to do a half double crochet 2 together. To crochet that, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go into the stitch after that, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over and pull through all the loops on your hook. Row 14 also begins with a chain 2, 1 and 2, turn your work. We're going to do another half double crochet 2 together. I didn't do that very well, did I? All right, let's try that again. So pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook. And then we're just going to do a half double crochet in the remaining stitch. Get my hook in there. And then row 15 is the final row. We're going to chain 1, turn our work. We're going to picot stitch in the first stitch. So again, single crochet first, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the back bump. And then in the last stitch, we're just going to slip stitch. And slip stitch. So at this point, if you're working with the Colour D yarn, making your first 2 pieces, you will cut the yarn and pull up with your hook and then set those aside. So you'll end up with 2 Colour D pieces like this. Once you've got those 2, you will need to come back in and make your first Colour A piece. Once you've done that, you will leave it on the hook as it is here. So working yarn still attached. Then you're going to lay one of your Colour D pieces on top of the Colour A. So you're going to match them up, and then we're going to single crochet both pieces together around the entire outer edge. So once the pieces are lined up, I'm going to insert my hook into my Colour D piece first, and then straight out of the corresponding end of the row in the Colour A one. So I've got that together, and then I'm going to yarn over, pull through both pieces, and then yarn over and pull through to finish my single crochet. So that's the first joining single crochet. I'm going to jump down to the next row, so into the Colour D, out of the Colour A, single crochet, and just like this, you're going to make your way around the entire piece. I'm also going to be working over these ends that I've left, but if you would prefer, you can weave them in first. I just got a little bit lazy and didn't do that, but that's fine because I can hide them here. Alright, so you're just going to continue joining, but something that you can do is at the end of your picot stitches, if you would like to make them more defined, a little bit pointier, you can just add in another picot stitch here. So I've kind of reached the tip. If I wanted to, I could chain 3, single crochet into the back bump like that, and then continue working my joining stitches. I do like how that looks, but I'm not going to do it here simply because I didn't do it in the first one. I didn't, and personally I think I should have, but I would rather them match, so I'm not going to do that, so I'll frog that. But that is an option for anyone who would like the shape of this piece, which you might be able to guess what it is, but anyone who would like the shape of this piece to be that little bit more defined. Alright, so just going to continue. We're going to join the whole thing all the way around. Once you've made it all the way back around to your starting point, you are just going to snip the yarn and then weave in the end. We will need to sew these pieces on, but because where we need to sew them on is a completely different spot from the start/end of our round, we're just going to weave this in, not worry about leaving a yarn end for sewing. Alright, so we're going to weave that in. And with that, we are finished. So ultimately with piece number 8, we ended up with 2, but to create those 2, we did have to crochet 4. And for piece number 7, we just should have 2. That's it. No joining required, just 2. All right, so that is all we need to do for this video. I will see you in the next one, and I think the next one should actually be our last one, so you'll all get to find out what it is we've been making over these past few weeks.